Welcome again, friends, to another episode of Soaring Through Chaos. And the theme now is dance movement therapy and how it can apply to all areas of life. And in particular, to the people who are going through challenges right now, our seniors, anybody who has any challenges regarding comorbidity. And with me is a young woman, Sneh Sankpal, who has begun working in this area over the last few years. And Dr. Vanita Singh, she and I have been in this a little longer, but we are all students. We are all learning all the time. So, Sneh, can you tell us about your journey? How did you get into this so early in life?
Yeah,
What made you get into the therapeutic side of dance?
yeah. So the passion for dance is something which was with me as a hereditary. My mom was a very good dancer and she loved dancing. So she was my first dance teacher when I started dancing. She used to teach me Bharatnatyam, few steps which were like the basic steps. And that made me to fall in love with the dance. And I began dancing at the very young age. And later on, then after completing my studies and all, I had been to Pune to do some course. There I came across this dance movement therapy course, which is all the way coming from USA, from New York. And I was very curious to know about this course, and I went to the college and I inquired about the course. I started doing like lots of questions. I had questions in my mind, googling up everything that what is dance movement therapy, like dance can be a therapy also, and then it was said that it is psychological based. I was like, wow, this is something really very amazing that dance can be used as a psychotherapy also. So this made me to fall into in love with it, and I began my journey with the course, and then exploring, understanding self was first my motivation, because in some moments I had stopped dancing and I was a bit bounded in my body itself. So that helped me first to understand my own movements, to understand myself, to understand what my body is saying to me. And I came to know that I'm very much connected to my bones to dance. This was even a feedback given by one of my teachers saying that dance is in your bones, it's in your muscles. So you don't have to dance separately. Whenever the music plays, you start dancing. And my sister used to tell me that you can't sit stable and talk. You start dancing while talking also. You are never stable. So this also was like part of my life, part of my body and journey of dance. So movement was very like completely inside me. If we check something like we do blood test. If we do some test, I'll be dance positive. This is
Wow.
what I feel. This is what I feel. And I love dancing. I used to do lots of Bollywood dancing. Then my interest in Bharatnatyam arose when I was in seventh class. I did Bharatnatyam classes for 2 3 years. I continued doing that, and it helped me in using the mudras and the few steps which can make elderly people more flexible. So I started combining all these things. I started using some Bollywood songs which are of their era, like black and white era wale songs and all.
Mhm.
So this was like just 2 years I've been into this field, and while working in this field, I came to know that it can help each and everyone. Not only you need to be a patient or you need to go to a particular thing that it should be like a prescription. You can do it because movement is what we are born with, and movement is everywhere. Our breath, our heartbeats, moving of your eyes, everything is a movement. So I ask each and everyone, like, what's your hobby? And if somebody's like dance, I like keep dancing. Wherever I see something, there is mentioning about dance. I said, yeah, please don't stop dancing. Please continue. Have some moments. Don't sit idle. If you're sitting idle, also please do something like start moving, nod your hair, or clap your hands. Just keep moving. Don't make your body like a statue, or don't be a statue. So this is my, you can say, funda or my mantra I use with my clients as well. And recently, I'm very happy by seeing all the doctors who are treating the COVID patients to get stress free, to feel relaxed. They are dancing and making videos and they are uploading on Instagram. And whenever I see a doctor wearing the PPA kit and dancing, that to any Bollywood song, I feel so happy. I immediately share that and I just say, see, even doctors are dancing. Why can't you people dance? Everyone should dance.
I remember meeting you and Vanita ji at SIMTAI, the Creative Movement Therapy Association of India's annual conference, not too long ago. It was November of last year.
Yes.
And Sneh came running and said, "Are you Shankar? I saw you on Facebook and you're dancing." And this is how we connected. And later, of course, when Vanita gave the session on dance for Parkinsonism and about creative movement. Could you also tell us in a couple words, Vanita? We did a more detailed interview yesterday, but I would love to hear from you how you have applied and at what point you got inspired to use dance for therapeutic applications.
Yeah, thanks, Shankar and Sneha. In fact, at Pune, I remember when you said, "Oh, are you Shankar?" I didn't know you were Shankar, and I saw you like move. When we had that evening session with the drums in Pune,
Yes, yes.
I said,
Drum circle.
"Who is this gentleman who's like?" You were like bouncing around and just covering the entire hall, which is a big hall, and you were just like nothing would stop you, right? And the drums and you were like in sync, and it was just happening.
I've been
So I
told
saw
many
that
times that I
happen. I
have to
said,
keep up to
"Oh,
my
okay."
name, Shankar.
Yeah,
Ah,
How to
exactly.
do
right,
the
right, right,
taண்டava.
right.
No,
So that's
literally,
what
Right,
inspires me.
right.
Yeah. So yeah,
Tanda
tell us
was
about what inspires you and how you got into the medical side of it, Vanita.
very quickly. Um, Pretty much like Sneha, I started learning dance as a hobby. Next door hobby class was my Kathak sessions when I was 3.5. Continued through my school and college years. I got married, started teaching young kids just to stay in touch with the art. It was only later that when I was started to teach adults and kids, I had to break it down into simpler, palatable pieces. And there was a shift within me regarding dance. The mechanical performance that I had been doing for years as part of a group, solos, shifted. There was something more to it. The essence is something that kind of touched somewhere. And it was around that time that we were losing dad to Parkinson's disease. He was becoming more and more rigid and immobile. Um, I knew movement was important for him, but to dance for Parkinson's never occurred to me then. And it wasn't, still isn't a very popular intervention back in India or in the Middle East, where I am for the last 12 years. So it was a thought that came to mind that if I had done a little bit of Kathak with him, instead of just doing up your hands and rotate your shoulders, I could have done Tram Thay, because Tram is a prompt which will make you look up as a Kathak dancer. Um, so I wish I had done that, but moving on, I said there are so many others. If it's something that works, let's let's adopt it. So I went and trained in Brooklyn for dance for PD. I had a lovely mentor, David Leventhal, there. Felt rather empowered in the concept, right? It's not Kathak. It could be ballet, it could be jazz, it could be Bollywood, it could be hip hop, contemporary, Bharatnatyam. It's the elements of dance, right? It's the grace, it's the imagery, it's the rhythm, it's the creative element that comes from within that is nothing but medicine. So, so I call myself not a dancer anymore. I call myself an adaptive dancer because I like that term. Instead of saying I'm a therapist, so yeah, whilst we were in Brooklyn, Ollie Westime, who initiated this project with David at uh, the Mark Morris ballet group, he said, "We are dancers,
Hmm.
but the end result of any such session is nothing but therapeutic." So, there's a
Yeah.
little different way of, I'm not a therapist, but our sessions are therapeutic. So I love that expression. So yeah, so it's been 5 years now that I have been using my dance learnings and passion for yoga fused together to help people with Parkinson's, especially arthritis, since I've been dealing with this myself, and a lot of senior population. We call them young hearts group here. They are in their 70s, 80s, 90 plus, and they love it. And Sneha would totally agree with that, that
Yes.
Yeah.
they so love, uh, because they've never, many of them haven't done it, like, because culturally it's not the thing to do for anyone, unless there's a background. Or so for them to move to Orepia or Dhundala Jain, Jo Mansile, like you just put some movement. I'm stretching my hands, but I'm just saying there. It's fun because this has put on another learning cap for me, because every session there's a eureka moment for me. Oh, that was a nice final twist. So add it on to your vocabulary. So still learning and exploring.
In
It's fun.
fact, as we've talked before, I started dance quite late in life. I used to dance as a child. There was so many inhibitions as well as so much societal pressure to stop. Because anytime I would move like Govinda, and there was no Govinda at that time. So,
Yeah.
so it was like, ye kya baila dance karta? I mean, like, very
I-
feminine. So the gender stereotyping was very strong. So I discontinued as a teenager and got back into it just as 2 months before I turned 40. I
uh,
really wanted to dance on my 40th birthday. And guess what? That happened because I found
wow.
a place where dance with no steps, and that was five rhythms. Later,
Wow.
it was soul motion. So I've done many workshops with the people who do five rhythms and soul motion. And literally 6 years later, I offered my first ecstatic Bollywood dance. So using
Nice.
Bollywood music,
Yeah.
like running around trees and spinning and doing this,
Oh.
attam and turning on light bulbs. The standard, like the alphabet of Bollywood is actually very simple, but the
Yeah,
creativity is enormous. And I've
absolutely.
done that even on salsa music and on lambada music, kauna
Nice.
lambada, or on like señorita or calladita for that matter. So especially the Espanol people and the Portuguese, they love it. They're like,
They love
amigo,
it.
what are you
Yeah.
doing? Funky stuff. And I tell them, okay, you teach me basic salsa and lambada, and I'll teach you Bollywood funkiness. And we see that in songs like Señorita in the Hindi version.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
again, it's not about steps. It's going beyond the steps. It's just
Yeah.
letting the body move. So, Snake, uh, I promised you we want to make the most of Vanita's time. She has a patient waiting for her in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Vanita, do you have any questions? To me, it's astounding to see somebody like Sneh jumping onto therapeutic bandwagon rather than
I
the
know.
party dancing. You know what I mean? What do you think? What do you think, Vanita?
No, that's right. But I think it's like, when you say that in the jungle, the lion has tasted blood once, it's like you got
He
it.
wants
You got to
always.
get more of that.
Yes.
It's almost like you kind of tasted that, and it is you surprise yourself. I mean, at least that was the case with me, where I thought, yeah, okay, dance for Parkinson's, right, or for seniors, but if you know a bit of the Kathak basics, there's a footwork which is called Tatkar.
Mhm.
So, which
Mhm.
is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all the feet going. And when I started to do this, something which I take it for granted, I realized it's your balancing. It's because when you're doing that, when you go beating your feet, you're standing and you're going 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when I go 1 and to go 2, I'm actually up in the air balancing on one leg too. So just practicing the tatkar actually helped seniors and people with Parkinson's gain better balance. So once I know that, I am so sure and confident that I can use this, something which is established, something which is a part of a very structured curriculum called dance, can be used, right? And of course, the expression. So I can imagine and totally appreciate if Sneha has tried that, and especially with dad, and she sees a difference.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping her, Shankar. There's nothing stopping her. I would say early the better. The fact that she has, and you can always party, like if you've done classical dance, I can still go and do my dandiya and my bhangra or whatever. So as long as you have that confidence as a dancer, whether you want to party or you want to perform on stage, and do some chair-seated exercises and help people move to bring them out of the mobility, I think it is
It's
couldn't ask for
amazing.
more, Sneha. Couldn't
Yeah,
ask for
very
more,
But
really.
yeah, Sneh, what do you think? We love the fact that you're doing it, and we heard you have a new exciting student. Well, tell us about your
yes.
new student.
Yeah. So before telling about my new student, I really want to share one thing. So, you get a kickstart by some experience in life. So, my mom had a small episode of dementia. So, we never knew how dementia happens and how can we avoid it or what is the reason for this. So, when I came to know that Alzheimer's can be avoided by having a regular practice of dance or having something movements in your body which helps your brain to stay active, the left and right way. So that made me one thing that I should really help elderly people or who are in 50s or who are moving in the 50s, 60s range to help them that they should not undergo any of these diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. Because I know a person when has Alzheimer or dementia, it's so painful. I saw my mom, she had a very small episode of 1 or 2 days, but it was so hurting that she couldn't remember anything and
Yeah.
it was like I used to yell sometimes, like, listen what I'm saying. I just want to tell you something. But she used to keep talking, keep talking. So I don't want anyone to face this in life again. So if I can help people to stay precautions or get precautions, I can avoid it. It is my main intention. And with this, my new patient. So main motto to start with my new student or my new client, I can say with my dad, the
Yeah.
same thing. I don't want him to have any of such disease in future coming, and I want him to have a
Yeah.
healthy physical, mental, and social life. That is the only goals I have in my mind. And with this, I pushed him that no, you have to do it.
That's good.
So, will we be able to see your dad? Will he join us? Can we
Yeah,
actually have
yeah,
a live
yes,
session with
yes.
Mr. He's an advocate, right? Mr.
He's
Yashwant
an advocate.
Sankpal.
Yes, yeah,
It'll be wonderful to see him move. What? This is your fourth session with him?
yeah. It's fourth to fifth session with him today.
Wonderful.
There's one
We'll
little
all
thing I
join
want
you.
to add here, Shankar, when
Yes.
Sneha talks about her mom with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's and Parkinson's both being degenerative, and using dance as an intervention, there's a subtle difference which I learned and realized. In Parkinson's, you need a very structured, of course, you have the free flow, but because your autonomous system is not supporting you, you need cues and prompts externally, which dance provides, because there's a choreography that you follow one step after the other. But with Alzheimer's, you cannot rely on that memory anymore. You don't remember the choreography.
Yeah,
So, spontaneity is what is required in helping people with Alzheimer's move. So, because just being spontaneous or the rhythmic responses to music don't need no cognitive reserves there. So that's a little subtle difference, that getting some peppy music or something that they relate with or to from their yesteryears, if you put that
yes,
music on and give no structure and bring that music to move, help the body move. Whereas in PD, they need the guidance, the body, the brain needs the guidance there. Just wanted to share that little.
yeah.
So I have a
And
question for Yashwantji. Sir, huh, do you have, can he hear us?
Yeah.
Acha. So Yashwantji, what is it like to be Sneh student in dance therapy, in movement? What has your experience been over the last few days?
No, this Sneha was a student of
Can
the.
you come closer to the microphone so we can hear him better?
Yeah.
When Sneha was studying at Sankete, that time I used to go there. I visited her all lecturers who, and I had acquainted with all these people. And she used to go to one um, this old age ashram called Asasi, in Pashan. So all the people they liked me very much. And when I saw them, their living was very nice. Though they were about 70 years up to 93 years, and they were so feeling younger. So when I saw all that, I thought it is very nice. And Sneha has done very nice course, and she could do further in this course. But actually, what happened? Uh, I had one problem, health problem. My wife expired in 2015, and thereafter, in 2016, I had this sodium deficiency, and the doctor did not diagnose it. And 2 3 months I was traveling to the hospitals and admitted in the hospitals. During that time, Sneha was having very bad experience. That means she was not telling her mother is not there, father is in such a condition. So she said, I want to go to I said immediately, you go to whatever you want to learn there, you go there. So initially she did this nutrition and dietitian at Bombay. So thereafter she shifted to the Pune, and then she told me that I want to do the DMT course. So you do anything, I said I had given her full freedom. So what I expected, she has done it. But I want she to grow more, and she could do something. Now she is interested to do some type course, and I said you can take admission and you can do it because it is online for 4 months, and thereafter it will be with, after January, if the this effect of the COVID goes down, that time she can shift again to the Pune and continue her learning and whatever she want to do. But I want to give her 2 years time because after 2 years, I want she to get married.
You know, I'm reminded of William Wordsworth, who said a long time ago, I think the poem was called Leisure, where he says, the child is the father of the man. Very, very
Yes,
famous line. The child is the father of the man. He's talking about the passage of time. And in
Yeah.
both cases, I see both Vanita as well as Sneh. And for Sneh, it has happened much earlier. And like
Yeah.
the daughter is the mother of the father, of the man, where she's
definitely.
now come to a position, point in life where she can
Yes,
contribute in a very direct, immediate sense. And
yes, yes.
the person, the father, in my own case, my daughter was one of my first dance teachers. And she didn't teach, but she used to dance, and that would inspire me to dance. Later it
That's
was
so
my wife.
special.
Yeah,
Yes.
and because there was no pressure. She was
Yeah.
not teaching, but she would say, chill, chill. And I was like, okay, this is how I chill. Because otherwise I was trying to do parabolas and hyperbolas and straight lines and then it was just chill. So how about we do it? Sneh, do you want to
Yes.
lead us into
I
a
would love to. I would love
that'll be
to.
great. That'll be great.
Yeah.
And this is no formal session, but it's really a taste of what happens in a dance therapy or a therapeutic
Yeah.
healing dance session. So, Sneh, this is amazing. All of us, we love the idea of learning from you and learning with you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm so sorry that I will have to excuse myself in 10 minutes because I have
Yes,
a
you have a patient waiting for you. Yes.
One Parkinson's disease member waiting.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you
let's
so much,
start.
Pankaj, for joining and understanding all these things and giving me more options and explanations of all the things. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
This is,
Okay.
we are all in it together,
Very
and
welcome.
yes, it's the guidance of people like Dr. Vanita Singh that takes us forward. And someday you will take us forward, Sneh. And you are already
Absolutely.
doing that. You're
We are
already
in it
doing that.
together.
Thank you.
And your experiences starting now, having started, are going to be your best teachers, believe me. So this is something which is, of course, we do workshops and we do trainings, but the add-ons, the nuances, no one knows better than you. Seeing your dad go through it, no one sees him 24/7 the way you do. No doctors, no therapists.
Yeah.
You are his best therapist and your own teacher. I mean, that's my experience talking.
Thank you so much.
So let's start. Let's see and I'll be in touch with you.
So let's start with moving a bit, like warm up, which I usually take even in my sessions and I make my dad. So simple
Mhm.
warm up by sitting in it. So just rotate your hands. Start rotating your hands inward. Just open your fingers, close it, open, close, open, close. So my dad had this problem that whenever he used to open his fingers, it used to be just like, or else there's no proper, grip or no proper
Friction.
movement. So I started making him like start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then with some beat or with some music, which helped him
Yeah.
to become more flexible and make his movements free.
Yeah.
After that, with the rotation, circle, inside, and let's stand a bit now. And just move our legs, shake our hands, shake. Just remove everything. Shake your entire body and just tap your body. Say, wake up. You have to move legs, head, back, shoulders, waist, and face at the end. And now we are ready to move. I just play music.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, sat on the chairs for hours on end. It's so
Yes.
important to move your pelvis and your
I call it Jhoom Barabar Jhoom.
humor.
It is when we are on Zoom all the time, it is necessary
Yeah.
for us to,
Can you hear
to,
the music?
yes, yes. No, we can't hear your music yet. Make sure you have turned on.
Yeah, just
Yes,
about
we can hear
starting
you
to
now. We
hear.
can hear it. Yes.
I can hear it.
Yes.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
Yes. Start moving. Just we are moving our entire body, feeling the movements of the body. Just feeling the space around us. Just feeling the air. Taking a nice deep breath. Now we are going with the flow of music. I taught my dad a new step. So this is for his shoulder free movement. Smile. That is very important. He had a very rigid shoulder, and now you can see there's so much of difference. Let's just slowly stop our movement and close the eyes. Let's close our eyes and feel whatever movements we did and feel the vibrations we have in our body. I still is moving now. Just feel the vibrations. You just did it. We did a very small movement warm up where we understood that each and every part of the body can move. We can make it move, and it's with us. The movement is within us. It just we have to push it.
Yeah. That was a lovely warm up.
Thank you.
Good. I had missed my yoga today morning, so I've more than made up for it. I'll have to say sorry at this point. Namaskar, Mr. Sankal. फिर से मिलेंगे आपसे. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Thanks, Shankar Dada. Bye, Sneha. And
Yeah,
I'll be in
bye-bye.
touch.
Thank
You're
you.
doing great
Please carry
things
on.
for
Sorry for this.
community. You're helping lots of people. So thank you, Vanita ji.
Thank you.
And we'll see
Thank
you soon again.
Will do. Thank you.
So we should continue dancing a bit more.
Yes, let's continue.
Okay.
We're going to start. Bolo.
Whoa, so Zindagi Ek Safar Hai Suhana.
Wow, that was so amazing. Could you also talk about? I want to hear from Yashwant ji. Tell us, आपको कैसा लगा? How was it for you?
How was for you?
So he is nice one. Actually,
Well, I want to hear your, how was it for you? This is like the fourth or fifth time you're doing it, right?
Sorry?
I want to hear from your dad, from Yashwant ji. What is this experience like? Can you come closer to the mic?
No, in my college days, I used to dance so much. I used to participate in the dramas. But thereafter, I had two accidents. Once my leg was broken, and once my shoulder was broken. So because of that, I reduced my movement because I could not move freely. One thing I had one right shoulder problem as well as right feet problem. So this made me somewhat slow person. Otherwise, I was very fast. I used to play cricket. I used to play kabaddi.
Yeah, it was very difficult for him to hold when we
You're
are in the
doing,
markets and something.
you're doing great. You're great. I mean, I cannot even believe that
Yes, I
Sneh
into
gave me an
one.
idea of your age, but you're dancing like a 16-year-old again,
Yeah.
I
It's
made him.
happening.
I made him. I give him doses.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So with this, I have one story to share with you. Can I share a story?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Do you want to share the screen?
No, I can just tell it. I can
Yeah,
share
please.
photo.
Yes.
Photo. Picture.
Yes. Yes. Tell us about it.
So this was my very first session at Atashvi, and 80 members participated in this session, and it was a very wonderful experience with these people. And in this group, later we had 25 participants for the regular session. In this, I had a lady. You can see the blue dupatta. She is
Yeah.
half blind. She's half blind,
Acha.
but very expert in knitting. And she had some knee cartilage issues. Like she had both the knee cartilage broken, and she used to wear those knee pads for support or for balancing. And after attending sessions for 1 month, she was walking without her kneecaps.
Wow.
So this dance therapy helped her to forget that she needs the kneecap. And she had a little bit of guilt or a fear of like walking because she was half blind. After like 6 to 7 in the evening, she used to become completely blind. So she had a bit of fear or you see a guilt kind of thing. That came out of her, and she's like, I feel very relaxed while walking now. And this was the biggest and the very biggest, I can say, feedback I've received from this group, that it helped her in overcoming her issue. These are my feedback boards I used to make for them. This is my group
Wow.
where you can see there's a lady with a walker.
Yeah. Yeah. In the back.
And I think this the group was of 80s, age group 80s.
Wow.
We all are enjoying our movements with the ribbons. At the end, I used to take them meditation and Omkar jap.
So you go back to your heart and go practice some stillness and mantra meditation.
Yes. And they even started doing a little bit of Bharatnatyam with me. This is that clip where they are doing Bharatnatyam step.
Wow.
And we played a Krishna song. So these are my cute little Radha Krishnas.
The Ras Leela.
Yeah, and this I had taken a session of special kids where these kids are drawing by themselves, and most of them are physically handicapped. They have autism, they have Down syndrome, but still they are trying to bring out their imagination on the paper.
Wow. So you do
And
a combination of creative arts.
yeah, I had taken a session for AIDS affected kid of age group 6 to 15. So their photos cannot be published, so I couldn't click photos with them. But those kids gave me this bouquet.
Wow.
Biggest memory I have, and in Kannada it is written Makkale Rashtrada Sampatti.
Wow. This is in Kannada.
Yeah, this is in Kannada because these kids go to Kannada medium school, and I got this from them.
And they're calling you a national treasure. Rashtrada
Yeah,
Sampati. Wow.
and very big session I had. Group of 200 ladies participating in understanding what is dance movement therapy. And for this group, I had a particular theme for the group of ladies who are under the journey of going through menopause. So this was a group where ladies came from all the social activist group, and unexpectedly 200 ladies joined this session. And
Wow,
this was
that's a
a big
lot.
my time. Yeah, the group all doing a hand to hand energy passing movement.
Uh,
uh, Dancing freely, just understand, just move, asking them to hold their themselves and dance with themselves, with the inner self. And my last day, where I took the handprints of all the special kids as a memory. This is
wow,
my
that's
hand,
so beautiful.
this is every handprint. And these are all the male citizens, senior citizens dancing. We can dance. These people like we never danced, we never thought of dancing, and they are dancing. Yeah, yeah. Same. I took one more thing, like palm to palm energy transferring. Yeah. So he's one of the members' son, and he's paralyzed. And he was antisocial before joining the dance therapy sessions. After joining the sessions, he said his mom, "I never want to miss the dance therapy session," and he started
Wow,
groups. His mom blesses completely from her heart to me because her son has come into crowd of people and enjoying the dance.
that's amazing.
Yeah, this I took kids as a part of mirroring for them to understand the left and right. Okay, and this is my very latest one thing I started with eating disorder and dance movement therapy. So it's a group of housewives who have very much big problem of eating disorder. It is commonly seen in the housewives, and I ask them to imagine themselves as a scarf and shape themselves the way they want it, and later do the movements with it.
Very nice. Wow.
And at the end, the kids join them.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah. So this is my work till day, and I'm still looking forward for more work.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And thank you for sharing because, I've always believed that new ideas, as much as we hear wisdom from people who have experience, We also need fresh ideas. We have new approaches. As
Yeah.
Dr. Vanita was saying, your experience is your best teacher after a certain point. And we are our own
Very true.
students, the people we participate with, they teach us things. We basically create learning environments, and we all
Yeah.
learn from each other. So it's so energizing to see how much you've accomplished in the last, was it 2 years, 1 year, 2 years of
Two
offering
years.
these lessons?
2 years. It's 2 years.
Yeah, you've actually, I mean, in Pune, I've heard about you in multiple circles, and it's so energizing to see how much has happened in these last 2 years. And even,
Yeah.
what about the pandemic? How have you been working during the pandemic? What are you, what's moving you now?
Yeah. So when the lockdown started, miracle happened, and Gurudev started his guided meditation. So that was one of my routine. And Madurai College the American College of Madurai, they started psychological webinars with different topics. So I attended their webinars, and that one was one pushing point for me that I need to learn more things related to psychology. I
Hmm.
started doing webinars. I attended their webinars where Tripura ma'am's webinar also was there about the dance therapy. Two webinars I attended of her. And after each webinar, I used to take that topic and I used to search on Google. I started making notes because I love writing. I love making journals. I love writing. So that was in my pandemic. And after a few months, I came back to my hometown and I started my classes. I pushed myself to move more with my dad, which is now I cannot give a full stop or even a comma for that. So this will continue and continue.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And would Yashunji like to share any more about what his plans are going forward in terms of learning?
Any more
What
plans
is
to learn
moving
more?
you?
Yes, definitely. I would like to learn what is Snap and teaches me, and I want to. Yeah, now I'm 68. At least I want to live up to 75 years of age. So I have to do some exercise. Initially I used to do, but nowadays due to all these leg fracture and these hand fracture, I stopped all the exercises. Just I used to walk around, and I had no other exercise. So this body has become very rigid. Now Sneha is teaching me all those things, and now I'm feeling very easy.
Wow, wow. Such a wonderful thing. How about you, Sneh? What's your plan after the pandemic? Because there's so much to do and you have so much to give to people.
Yeah. So in October, my PG diploma in dance movement therapy course will start. So this will be a online course up to January. And after January, if it's everything normal, I'll be back in Pune. I'll do my course. I'll be doing it, studying it, and I'll see wherever I get the chance so that I can take sessions. And I'm missing my Atashriyans, everyone. Even I get call from them that we are missing you when you will be back. So, and I'm looking forward to start my own studio or my own space where I can provide all type of this dance, music, sound therapies, art-based therapies, where people can really come and open up themselves and have their own space of creativity and just to find what is the spark in them.
Wow, wow. And do you have any closing words for people? Because as you know, there are so many people going through challenges. So much has changed in the last 3, 4 months. People have lost
Yeah.
their health, people have lost their jobs, so much anxiety, so much concern. What do you think? How can we learn to adjust to this new reality? We cannot keep waiting for the future. So, what can people
Yes.
do? But do you have any ideas? Do you have any suggestions?
Not really like very like right idea, but I can say yeah, just it is globally happening. So there's no need to be like blaming anyone or becoming very panic. We have to understand the reality, and the main goal should be to stay fit physically and mentally. And people should really start doing something which they have interest or which is their own spark. So this is a time where they can get connected to themselves. बाहर दुनिया में तो वापस जाना ही है, आज नहीं तो कल. but when you will understand yourself. So this is a time really nature has given us, God has given us that get time for yourself. Do something which is really your own creativity, your own spark. So just focus on that for a few while, and you'll get connected to yourself, and you will be a new yourself when you come out of this pandemic time. This is what I feel, and this is what I'm doing for myself as well.
Yes, yes, you're actually experimenting with yourself and your dad. That's so
Yes.
amazing. And well, again, for those people who are around here who saw the little snippets of dance, the little movement we did together, it's not a mystery. It is not magic. The magic is in the moment, in sharing, in performing. We're not performing for others. We are performing to just feel our own body, our own mind, and with each other. And as you saw, the father and son, the father and daughter dance, it reminded me of the song Daddy Cool, remember? From the
Yes,
1970s,
Yes.
Cool, Daddy Cool.
yes.
And
I'm making no.
yo, exactly. So we would
Yes.
love to hear from you. And if anybody is interested, Sneh do you have some sessions coming up where you'll be doing
Yeah,
Zoom-based
I'm
sessions
planning.
for people?
Yes. I'm
And
planning
please,
online sessions.
please announce them along with this so we can actually have people sign up and join. And what I like about this is the freshness. Every new person has something interesting and different to contribute. We can all learn from each other. And I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, so I'm planning to start online sessions from 15th August as it's Independence Day, and let's give ourselves also independence from all these emotions which are useless like depression, anxiety, blaming, and getting. Nowadays, whenever I see people when are roaming around, their faces are like they don't smile at all. They don't feel like
I know
smiling.
we're taking the
They're just
pandemic very seriously.
yeah. So I guess that should be happening very soon now, and it needs a help.
Yes, yes. So we will
Yeah,
make that
so sessions.
announcement. We will tell you about all the things that are coming up. Some of the sessions will be free and some will be at maybe nominal charge. And I always encourage people, especially the guests on the show, to talk about what they're doing because it is necessary to co-create, to participate together. And I'm really grateful I get this opportunity to talk to you, Sneh, and to your dad, Yashwanji. It's
Namaste.
such a great pleasure to be able to share your experience together and with the whole world.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
very much.
much, Anka, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really feeling very fresh, and it's given me a motivation that you should work more.
Yes, yes, exactly. We are all in it together, and this is the way we celebrate. We cannot wait to celebrate after the pandemic because this is our life. We have to celebrate now, here and now.
Yes.
So, thanks again. It's time to say
Yes. Thank
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Maybe we'll do a little goodbye dance, huh?
Bye.
you. Yay! Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.